Wedding Talk Wednesdays. Join Tashara and her featured guests every Wednesday on Zoom, 7 p.m. Central. Weddings and lifestyles are our things. This is Love and Money Mondays with your host, Tashara Matthews.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Love and Money Mondays. I'm your host, Tashara Matthews Shabazz, the editor-in-chief of Trends Magazine. Tonight, we have with us the Noflins. The Noflins have been married almost a year. In June of this year will be a year. So please welcome them to the show. Hi.
Hey, everybody.
So let's begin. How did it all start? How did you all meet?
Awesome. All right, so there's a funny story behind it. So we initially first met in passing at Mississippi State University outside the Sanderson Center. It was like a workout center. My line brother in my fraternity was good friends with Infanta, and we had like an ice cream fundraiser outside there. Snowball, all right. Yeah. And we met, and we was like, hey, and she was like, hey, and it was like it. We just met in passing. I had just gotten out of a bad relationship. I was, I wasn't looking for nothing. So fast forward for like 4 years later. When did you cross? 2010. 2010. So 4 years later. Yeah. So fast forward 4 years later, we were at I was at a friend of a friend's house, and she just so happened to show up. And this time when I saw her, that's when all the fireworks went off, and the sparkles, sparks would fly by Janae Aiko and J. Cole. This when it went off. Her smile, her eyes, her sweet energy and whatnot. And she said she was attracted. What'd you say? I will let you say. What'd you say?
So Chad is a big gamer. And when he wins a game or does something fun, he has this happy dance. So he came out of the room and he was doing a happy dance, and I mean just smiling, grinning ear to ear. But I told him, I was like, it was your aura. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
It was just a positive happiness, just like all good vibes, as we call it.
So wait, 4 years?
4 years. Yeah.
4 years later.
It's so funny because the second time I saw her, I was like, don't I know you? Yeah. I feel like I've met you before.
And I was saying the same thing, you look familiar.
Right. And, we actually embraced, and,
once we figured out, it was like, oh, this would be great.
Right. So, and, I basically, we started talking through Facebook after that encounter, and, we had that first conversation, and it was a wrap after that.
Okay.
It was a wrap. We went out. We had our first date on 18th, and that's when she had graduated, and we was out on the square, and that's when I really, really, really knew that I wanted to be. Because she came out, Charlotte, she was so fine in that dress she had on. Oh my God! I remember the dress in detail. I won't go in detail, but it was so fine. And I remember walking up, rubbing my hands together, like, oh, that's me right now. And so, it was, she's beautiful, and then she had the personality to match, and it just kind of just hit off from there. Yep, absolutely.
Man. So how long did y'all date before you got engaged?
Before we got engaged?
Before we got engaged. So we got engaged in 2017. So
January of 2017.
About 2.5 years.
Okay.
Half years, because we started talking in May of 2014. So 15, 16, and then got engaged. Yeah, about 2.5 years.
Okay, so when you saw her in that dress, you knew then that was going to be your wife, huh?
Well, I was hoping. Actually, believe it or not, and she doesn't fully believe me, but within the first week of conversations we had over the phone, I knew, because her energy and her vibe and her personality matched everything that, it matched her physical appearance as well. And by match, I mean, like, some people are pretty, but they got a bad attitude. And then some people have great attitudes, but they're not attractive, unfortunately. So she had both. And I told her this. She swears up and down she don't remember me saying this, but I told her, I was like, you don't know this yet, but you're going to be my wife.
Oh,
like, this is going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. I've been looking.
I know what makes y'all's relationship so special. Both of y'all are fun and just really great people. What do y'all feel that makes the relationship, unique?
Thank you.
What makes that relationship special?
I would say the same thing. We really vibe well together. How do you put it? Like the yin and the yang?
I said we're yin and yang, yeah.
Yeah, we're complete opposites. At least I think we're complete opposites, which is interesting, but it works well. So like he's very much like the life of the party, the outspoken one, like likes to have fun, and I'm more of like the quiet introvert. But I like that because I still like to have fun and things too. But he helps kind of bring that out of me. So
okay,
it works.
So how long after you all got engaged? How long did it take to get married? How is it? 2 years or
2.5?
2017. We got married in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So 2017, 2018. Yeah, 2.5 years. Yeah.
Okay. So one thing one of the reasons why I wanted to invite you all to Love and Money Mondays was because of how you all have prepared for the wedding as far as wedding budget. I've worked with many clients and you all had it so well put together as far as planning the wedding and planning for the wedding budget. And Chad, I know you were every meeting. What about that budget? What about
Right. Absolutely.
Every time, literally.
Yeah, and I think that's really key because a lot of times when I work with brides, the first thing they'll say is we don't have a budget, but you do have a budget because you know that there are costs that you don't want to go over. And so sometimes I'll rephrase that and say, well, how much are you willing to spend or how much is just too much when they say they don't have a budget? So can you talk to me a little bit how you came up with the budget and decided how many people to invite? And Chad, I know that's probably more your question.
We did some shopping around in regards to the budget to try. First time we've done anything like this. So for me personally, I'm the money guy. I handle the numbers and whatnot. And so there were expenses that I was not aware of. And so, we did some shopping around and kind of came up with a number of like 25,000. And I was like, okay, now how in the world are we going to do this? So we were paying for the wedding. And what we did was we would take $2,000 a month for a year to get to that amount. Now I know 2 times 24 was 24,000, but we were trying to get close to that amount. And there were certain things we had. We came and met with you, and we got a breakdown of how much each thing costs.
That was important.
Right. Right. It was important for several reasons. It was important for me personally, so I know where the money's going. Because if you're not careful, 25,000 can go very quickly, very, very, very quickly. Yeah. But for me though, I was, I wanted to see where the money was going, make sure we stay within the budget. And there were some things that we gave, more money towards. Like she was real big with the photographer. It was important to get the particular photographer that she wanted. Right. But then we caught a great deal on the food.
And my dress.
And the dress. Absolutely. The dress was a steal. So we were able to, balance some things out. And it was just, it was important to really both of us, because I'm going to be honest, like, I've had frat brothers that get married, and a lot of times they would say, man, I wish the money we spent on that wedding would just put down on the house. You know what I mean? So we didn't want to go broke getting married. Right. So it was important that we stuck with the budget. In regards to how to invite the people,
I'll answer that one.
Go ahead.
So that was interesting. Because we had originally said, we were like, okay, we're going to have 200 guests. because I have a very large family. Chad has a large family. We have friends. So we were like 200 guests, and we ended up sending out 200 invitations. So it ended up being really with the RSVPs. I think we had about probably around 350 that came. I don't remember the exact number. But for us, it was more important, like really what we wanted was to have like family and friends and people there. So we were, I think, able to cut in other ways in order to be able to have everyone that we loved there. So it was like you said, like, okay, well, the dress ended up being cheaper, and we got the food for a really, a great caterer, great deal, things like that. So we were able to play with the numbers like that, I think.
Some of it we got lucky. I mean, we just wanted to stay within the budget. We knew with the breakdown that you have for us, as long as we had X amount of dollars, the 25,000 by a certain date, and we were pouring out ahead. And we also, I forgot to mention this part, we had so that $2,000 that we had took out every month, we put into the wedding account.
Separate account.
There was only wedding stuff. So, hey, we need to put the deposit down for the DJ. Cool. Pull that out. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, we got to pay for the caterer. Boom. Pull that out. That way, it's not affecting our day-to-day life. Right. You know what I mean? We still have bills paid. We still have food to go out and eat. We still have, whatever. But it was important that we put that money in the wedding account and put it aside so we didn't touch it. And, I mean, you was there. It was gorgeous. It was awesome to be able to.
She decorated.
I know. Yeah, she did. Exactly. That's a very good point. It was important for us to be able to have a wedding in a place, and in a setting that everybody can come kick it with us and celebrate it with us.
Without like killing the budget.
Right. Well, without us going broke too.
Right.
Without killing the budget. So I really feel like we got blessed. And even though we planned well, I think we still got lucky and blessed at the same time. So, I mean, but we planned it out far enough in advance too, though.
Yeah, that was the key. So how did you all I know how you decided on the $2,000, but did you have to do some financial things up front, maybe pay off some things, maybe credit card to get to your $2,000 a month?
Yeah. So
that's actually, I think I'll say why we were engaged for 2.5 years, because a lot of people are like, oh, get engaged, get married in a year. We were like, we got to get some other stuff taken care of first.
right, which makes sense.
Absolutely. My wife is squeaky clean. I had some stuff, man, that I had to get situated. Some bad decisions when I was younger, just not having money.
Financial.
Yeah, bad. Yeah, bad. I didn't go to jail.
All right.
Bad financial decisions. I had to fix my credit. Had to pay some things off. And that really, really, as you can see, being a brand new house. So it all worked out.
Congratulations! That's so exciting.
Thank you. Right. So yeah,
because you all had that wedding budget that you all
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. We had the wedding budget and paying all that stuff off. That was huge.
And then you ended up, because I know some couples, they have put everything on their credit cards. So a lot of times they'll end up with more debt after the wedding because, or they've gone over their budget. They've gone over.
No, you're right. So the thing that really was key is the fact that I had several frat brothers that get married like before me, and we talked consistently. Hey.
Yes, we talked to people.
Because we did. Because I had a different view. I didn't want to go broke. I didn't want to do the whole big thing, but at the same time, I didn't want to short my family and her family from being able to hang out with us and witness it and all. So we definitely did not want to do credit card. We set the money aside and we paid, and we was trying to get credit up while all in the process. So I definitely would not do credit card at all. We put the money aside and we sacrificed some stuff. We didn't go travel. We didn't go do this and that and the other.
A meal or anything.
Right. Yeah. We didn't go crazy like that. Matter of fact, we almost did it like we treated it as a bill.
Right.
You
Okay.
put that 2,000 aside and you forget about it. You know what I'm saying? That's gotta happen. And we use that same format to buy other stuff, as well, because people don't you save $25,000 in a year. That ain't something that people really talk about. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just easy to just do. You know what I mean? So anytime we had any type of big thing come up, hey, we've done this before. We can come back and do that again. So yeah, we did that.
That's awesome. So after you all got engaged, or when did you all have your first real financial conversation, where sometimes it's a little awkward, but you know that you're getting serious as a couple, so it's time to talk about finances and credit scores and.
Yeah. So you said credit. That's really funny. I'm gonna try to stay off that topic. Well, so here's what's funny. We talked about this, and the first conversation we had about money was when we were both still in school and broke.
Right. We didn't have any.
We talked about what we didn't have. You know what I mean?
Right. Like when we met, like I was currently still a student in grad school. And then he was a student at the time still. And then even like once I graduated, I didn't have a job for 6 months and he was still a student. So it's definitely conversations of like, we don't have any money.
Right. My dad has always been a very financial savvy guy.
Okay.
He always used to sit down with me when I was younger to talk about how to pay bills and how to do this and then the other. The snowball effect. Yeah, when you pay off big bills and then you take the money after you pay the big bill off that you was paying the big bill off with to pay off smaller bills, and it snowballs down. We
even watched that podcast.
There was the Budgetnista.
Yeah.
There was a podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, the Budgetista, and so I listened there, and that talked about how to fix credit. I used a lot of those techniques to get my credit from. Can I say a roundabout? Okay, all right. I was in the low 500s when I moved to Gulfport 4 years ago, and I hit the 700 club before we got married.
Great.
Yeah. So, when we were getting ready to get this house, they were like really impressed with our credit. And it definitely took work. So I mean, we had to pay stuff off, and by we I mean I had to pay some. No. It was definitely a team effort. I couldn't have got it done without you. But you ain't have stuff in your name you had to pay off, is what I'm saying. I had some stuff I had to get, off my report. But it was all about when it talked. Like once I finally got to a point where I had the income, and she got to the point where she had the income, we was able to tackle things together.
Right.
Tackle together and knock stuff off. That was huge. Like the Budgetista talks about how, like right now, to give you an example, I put my cell phone bill on my credit card. I let it report to the credit report, right? So they can see that it hit, and then you pay it off. Some people buy stuff and pay it off as soon as they get home, not giving it a chance to hit on the credit report. And every time you pay that credit card off, gives you a big jump in your credit.
Okay.
Your credit score.
Just that small.
Yeah, exactly. And also keeping credit cards open.
Yeah, something I didn't know about.
Yeah, so back in the day, they used to say as soon as you finish up one, tear it up and
close it out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Now it's like, no, you can't.
I wonder if it's like a black people thing. That's what we tell our people. That's my parents said the same thing. That was like, hey, once you pay that off, close that card, you cut it up. Don't. I learned it's all about the utilization. You want to keep your utilization under 30%, but if you close that card, you cut out that utilization, so you can't take advantage of that amount that you had available to you.
Right.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
I had to inform my wife about that. She didn't want to listen to me. We paid some stuff off, and she cut the card up. I was like, "Babe, don't close the account. We need."
We need that. And that's why I want to have these conversations, because a lot of times we don't know. And it's
Right.
and having conversations in the African American communities are really tough. We don't want to talk about these things.
Sure.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I feel that this is going to be very helpful. Yeah, I think this is going to be very helpful. And sharing, it's not getting in your business, it's just sharing how the process.
So people can know, right?
That's exactly
Like,
right.
we learned about talking to other people and learning.
Right.
So.
Yeah, but every just like you was talking about the other day, nobody wants to be in everybody's pocket.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nobody wants to talk about the money. That ain't none of your business. You know,
Right.
But if we all broke, then we need to try to help each other not be broke. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Right.
You know, how can we get out of this situation? Don't worry about how many pennies I got. You know, you can't.
That's old philosophy. Yeah, things are.
It is.
So I'm going to ask the big question: separate or joint accounts?
Right now we are joint.
Okay.
I think literally, was it like the week after we got married or the week after we got back from our honeymoon? I think we went and opened a joint account together.
Mm-hmm.
Before we were married, we did have separate accounts, even though we were still helping each
Sharing
other
money,
in different ways. But we have a joint account now.
Okay. I know that's the question. Every couple is different. Yeah.
It works well for us.
Yeah, it cuts down on confusion.
Right.
You don't have to worry.
No one's questioning
exactly where that money goes. Right. You can look. You can see it's right there. Yeah. It's a trust thing. It's a real big trust thing, and it's so cliche. If you ain't got trust, you ain't got nothing. But it's true though. It's true. That's I can say without a shadow of a doubt, I trust my wife, and that's one of the. Thank you. That's one of the building blocks of our relationship. So. The money, we have, how many different accounts we have?
A lot.
We have like 5 or 6 different accounts, but they're all joint though.
For different purposes,
for different reasons.
Different things.
So again, for my dad, he helped break it down for me. So I'm gonna go through the list of accounts. Is that all right for Shara?
Yeah, that's great.
All right. So we have a bill pay account. All right, nothing but bills come out of there. We put in money when we get paid. We put in the bill pay account, and nothing but bills come out of there. We have a spending account. That's the day-to-day spending that we have. Okay. All right, so we want to go to run to Walmart and get some groceries, gas or whatever that comes out of the spending account. We have a savings account. All right, the savings account, we put money in there, and if for whatever reason we're going through a rough time, we have access to it to pull it out. All right, that's 3 accounts. And we have a Christmas account.
That's mine.
Yeah.
Joint, but
it's joint, but it was her idea, and it came about from this last Christmas. When we hadn't prepared for Christmas gifts.
Y'all got married in June of 2019.
Right.
So that makes sense.
Right. And so somebody went and bought a bunch of Christmas presents and was like, hey, guess what I brought? I was like, with what money? All right. So, yeah, I was like, I don't have a problem with you doing that. Let's just set some money aside for that. Right. So we got a Christmas account. So that's 4 right there. Yeah, we put a little bit in each month. So that's 4 in that. And then we have emergency account. So that's 5. So the goal is to get the emergency account up to like $10,000. So that you can cover yourself if you get, job trouble, vehicle, house, any type of emergency that comes up. And then the last account
is coronavirus. If you're not working.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Emergencies.
Yeah.
Emergencies. And then the last one is a vacation account. We put money in there so when we get ready to go back to Hawaii or anywhere else, we put money in there so that way we could prepare and set and save and all that good stuff.
Like vacations, like that's something for us. It's important to us, like something we really, really enjoy doing together. But of course, like that can be expensive if you just randomly do it.
Exactly. So, if you don't prepare for it, you can go broke going on a vacation.
Right. Oh, definitely.
Right.
Yes.
So we separate that.
Credit cards.
Right.
It's just a little a month that we put in, so nothing excessive or major.
Right.
Just to have something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So how often do you all have the money conversations? Is it monthly? Is it more now because of the COVID that you're looking more weekly? I know more couples are looking more weekly versus monthly, just because some of them are out of work or situations have changed. Yeah.
We got a good system.
Yeah.
So before we had the system, we talked about it all the time.
Literally all the time. Maybe every day. I'm sitting here thinking.
It got to be every day.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Okay, what's the account look like?
Right. But now we have a good system. This, we pay all the bills at the first of the month.
Like I said, with the bill pay, we make sure that the bills are paid.
Right.
So,
we pay all the bills at the first of the month.
Okay.
So we get that knocked out. Like literally when my check hits and her check hits, bills are paid in a matter of 5 minutes. Like I sit there, boom, 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 click, click, click. Bills are done. Put the money and spend it, and then at that point we done. So really money conversations come up when we're trying to go somewhere, when we're trying to do something. Right. If somebody had a mystery buy, I look at we look at the account and $500 that came up missing for some stuff. What is going on? Babe, you want to?
You want to explain?
You want to explain yourself? But other than that, we really don't, because we have access to both accounts. Like we have access to it. We can see, what's going on. So it's not really a, it's not a really a big thing anymore. We just make sure that we try to keep money. Right. And exactly. We can kind of fluctuate. We can figure out the rest. Exactly. Right. We figure out the rest.
So is there a amount that you all feel like is it $150? Like, hey, I want to purchase something for $150. I just want to talk to you about it. Kind of let you know that I'm going to purchase that. Is that, do y'all have those conversations, or is just, that person that she might need or he might need it, and so you don't really question that?
Both?
Yeah. I think if it's like maybe a non-essential item, you're definitely like, hey, okay. Like I bought something on Amazon the other day and I was like, all right, this is so-and-so money. Like, is it okay to do this right now? So we definitely talk about things like that. Now, like small purchases, like, oh, I went to Wendy's for lunch.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right.
But definitely like bigger things.
Yeah, well, the thing that's so beautiful about our system, though, Tashara, is that because the bills get paid first, anything else that happens after that, you're doing it with the understanding that we got to have whatever we got left, got to last the end of the month.
Right.
So, if we're going to get this, understand that, if we do this now, understand what ramifications may come later from it. But to be completely honest, fortunately, my wife is not a big frivolous impulse buyer, and I never leave the house. So
now, huh?
Right.
Even before he just going to work and back.
Oh yeah. I just, because I coach, so when I get I coach and teach. So when I get home, I'm done. That's it for me for the day. But so we don't really. I mean, if it comes up, we talk about it. Hey, I bought such and such or whatever. But it's because the bills are paid.
Right.
A lot of people have those conversations you're talking about because the light bill ain't been paid, or the mortgage ain't been paid, and you done went out and spent $200 on Jordans, and your lights getting cut off Thursday. But we don't have them. We don't have them conversations, man. And we don't have. Right. It does. Absolutely. We don't have it's drama free money wise for the most part.
Good. So what would be your advice to other couples starting out that may not have a system? What would be your recommendations?
My biggest help has been the different accounts.
Okay.
I think that works perfectly. Like we said, because of the bill pay account, it's like, the bills are coming out of there. Like, you don't touch that because you need water, you need electricity, you need to have a place to live, you need your vehicle.
You sure we need a house? I see some homeless people. Do we need a house? We gotta have a house.
You need a place to live. So knowing those things are paid has been the biggest help for me. And then after that, what you have left.
You can breathe a little bit. You can breathe, yeah.
Exactly, right. Because then it's like, okay, well, then we can spend out of spending for gas or groceries. And it's not like, okay, well, if we spend this, are we not going to have enough money to pay the bills? Keeping it separate keeps it like we don't have to worry about that. So
what I would say, there's a couple of things. One, the Budgetnista and my dad were two of the biggest influencers in regards to that, because what she said, she made a great analogy. She was like, if you've ever had gumbo, you put sausage in the pot, you put, okra in the pot, you put onions and chicken and crabs all in the pot, and it tastes good together. But when it comes to money, you don't need to do that. You need to separate it So you know certain things are taken care of. So that was a great analogy that she used. I would say in addition to what's separating the money is what are you trying to accomplish?
Right.
Like each stage of our life, each year at this point, each year of our life, something different has come up. And it's like, okay, what are we trying to accomplish? All right, we're trying to pay for this wedding.
Right.
So we're going to put this money to the side for the wedding. We're going to take care of that. Okay.
And before that was the credit card.
Right. Before then was credit card and bills so that we can get married. Right. So have a wedding. So then, okay, go, boom, got engaged. Now, okay, how we going to pay for the wedding? $2,000 a month to share a good checklist. Boom, boom, boom. We good on that. All right, wedding paid for. Cool. How we going to the honeymoon? All right, so we're going to do this. Boom, boom, boom. Check. Done. I want to get a house. All right, how are we going to go about getting a house? Right. We're going to plan. We're going to set this up, get our credit, get a good down payment. Boom, boom, boom. So whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, get a goal together with your spouse, your mate, or whatever, and then financially work through that goal.
One thing at a time.
One thing at a time, literally, because there's no way we could have done all of what we've done in a year that we've done over the past 3-4 years.
Right. Yeah. Right. So what's your next big goal? Have y'all set your next goal? Because you have the house now, which is a huge, huge accomplishment.
Yes. Financial goal or just life goal?
Both. Kind of both, if you're willing to share.
I guess the next goal is children, huh?
Yeah, at some point.
Okay. Yeah. I think we're going to probably get some pets.
Try those out first, huh? See how
we'll try those out. If we can keep them alive for more than a week, then we might go ahead and as a man, I got some stuff that I want to get for the house, but that's minor.
Yeah.
Like right. Right. Oh my God, with the bookshelf. There's some furniture and stuff I want to get, but that's minor. So to be honest,
I was going to say too, like our house. We have a house now, but it's not completely furnished.
Oh, right. So that's kind of like
a little bit at a time.
Yeah, room by room. That's the problem.
Right.
Exactly.
Little bit at a time with that. There was something I was about to say, but I forgot what it was. But no, not the bookshelf. Okay, so with the house, all right, so yes, we're trying to get it furnished a little bit at a time. Once everybody goes back to working, right, I'm going, because I do the money stuff, I'm going to double up the payments, the frequency in which we pay for the house to help get it paid off sooner.
Right.
That's the next big thing. The next big thing is
it
is not so much doubling the amount that you pay, it's just that paying twice a month cuts off on the interest.
Right.
Get it paid off in like half the time. So after we come out of Corona and everybody's working fine and we get the house furnished and we have some kids, or before we have kids, I'm going to be working to get that done, working to get that paid and done, get the house paid off soon.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, I thank you all so much. This has been great. So I do have a question. I'm kind of going to do like a series finale. We'll all be interested in joining the other couples.
Cool. He's excited about that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, great. I'm so excited, and I thank y'all so much. It's so good to see you all.
You too, Tashara. It's been forever.
I know. It's almost a year, actually.
Literally. June 8th.
Yeah.
Good to see you all. It's prosper like this and have the house, and it's exciting. It really is exciting. I thank you for sharing your story.
No problem. Thank you. I try to tell everybody that'll listen.
Okay. Good, because that's helpful. Because some people think that they know, but they don't know that they don't know.
That's very true. It's very true.
That was me.
Yeah. You know, but you have no idea.
All right. Well, y'all have a good night.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.